Hey guys, this is 681 Shadow. Welcome to our CPC Season 4 Week 4 match. And we are going up against Muse the Best, coach of the Portland Trail Blazikens. Now definitely go check him out. His link will be down in the description below. He's a very solid battler. He's in the NPL minors, so once again, a very big threat. And we're hoping to get another win this week, as we did get a very solid win against Verd in our last week match. So to go over the team that I brought for this week, I brought a sub Primarina, so that because Primarina has a pretty solid matchup against his team overall, I'd be forcing a lot of switches with Primarina, and being behind a sub is definitely good, especially for the Tyranitar due to its Spadef boost in the sand. That really helps me, and I have coverage for a lot of his things, and I'm also speed creeping to outspeed mid-speed Quillfish, so that I can knock it out with a Psychic. So that's really nice. And then Moonblast for things like the Lottie, and then Scald, which can hit Excadrill T-Tar, and Scald is going to be my most powerful move on at most points during the game. And then we have a Hitmontop. We're running Scarf Hitmontop this week because we are actually running the Aerial Ace because he has the Buzzwole, and it would be really great if we were able to whittle the Buzzwole down a little and then hit it with a Scarf Aerial Ace, because even if he is running max speed Scarf Buzzwole, like sure he outspeeds us, but he wouldn't be able to knock us out by any means. So it would be really good to be able to hit it with an Aerial Ace because the Aerial Ace does about like 75% ish on a mineral, so I'd be able to knock it out if I whittled it down just a little bit. And then we have Mega Steelix here. We're running a pretty standard Mega Steelix, except that we're running Magnet Rise in case we came into a situation where Steelix would have to deal with the Excadrill, because if I Magnet Rise, it would force the Excadrill out, which is really nice. And then this week, you may be wondering why I have a Snorlax, but we decided to trade with the Rhine Valley Guardians. We traded Porygon 2 to get Snorlax, which helps us more offensively, but we still have a nice special wall. And that helps my team. It helps my team because I have a lot of Eviolite Mons, and I'm trying to lessen down on that, because that makes my team really weak to knock off. So we have Snorlax here. We're running pretty standard. We have Whirlwind in case he wants to try to set up with something. And that's really for Snorlax. He's pretty standard. Then we have a Mew. For Mew this week, we ran a more defensive set with the Will-O-Wisp, Soft Boiled. I think I had Soft Boiled. I know I had Volt Switch, Aura Sphere for the T-Tar and Excadrill. So Will-O-Wisp definitely to cripple the Excadrill. And then lastly, we're running a bit of an interesting Rotom this week, because we have we're not running any special attack investment. We're running max HP and max speed, and we're running Thunder Wave this week, so we can get a bit of speed control, especially since he could be running since he has a pretty solid team, pretty fast. Like he has the Excadrill plus with Sand Rush, he'd be really fast, even though I can't really do much against that with Rotom. He has the Latios, he has the Mismagius, which is pretty fast, and then he has the Raikou, which is also fast. So he has a lot of fast mons in this team, so it's really beneficial for us to have a T-Wave to possibly be able to so it can help us to possibly slow down his team. So that's all for my team here, and we're gonna start up the battle. So we click play. I lead off with the Snorlax, as he's gonna lead off with the Mismagius. He's gonna go for a Willow, which is nice on him, as I go for the Crunch, and Crunch does 38%, and it gets a defense drop, which is really nice, and I believe that's gonna force him out. So yeah, he's gonna switch out into the Tyranitar, as I just click Crunch again. It's pretty safe. I get a crit, which doesn't really matter. And now the T-Tar is in, Sand is up, and here he's going to make a double, go into the Raikou, as it's right here. I'm gonna go into the Mega Steelix, which is good for me. As here, he's gonna switch, go into the Quillfish. As here, I'm gonna Mega Evolve, and I'm gonna go for Heavy Slam, which is pretty safe play. Could have gone for EQ, and did a lot of damage to this thing, but I decided to go for Heavy Slam just in case the Lottie came in. So now I'm gonna go back into Snorlax. He's gonna start hazard stacking me. Now, this Quillfish, he built it for hazards, spikes, toxic spikes, things like that. And in hindsight, I really do regret not bringing bringing Rapid Spin on Hitmontop or Defog on Mew, something along those lines. But I felt like everything I had, I think what I had for this match, everything I needed. So, unfortunately, we did not bring the Rapid Spin. So that's definitely going to play a part and help him out a lot. So here, he's going to go for Toxic Spikes. As I go for an Earthquake, it doesn't do anything, so that tells me he is defensive. And plus also because I'm burned, but because it did so little, I'm pretty sure he's defensive. So he's going to switch here, go into the Lottie. I go for a Body Slam. I don't get the Para here. But then here, he's going to make a double, go into the Tyranitar. As I go for a Crunch here. So he's making plays, trying to whittle down my my Snorlax here. And here I'm just going to switch, go into the Mega Steelix. He's going to get his own rocks up. And now he's going to switch here, go into Mismagius, gets Levitate, which is nice. So then here, I'm going to switch out and go into my Rotom. As he's going to go for a Willow, he's going to miss, which doesn't really matter since it's a Rotom. This is Rotom Heat, and now right here, he's going to go for a Willow, I think he predicted me to switch, but I decided to go for the T-Wave. Now this thing's slowed down, and that really helps me since I don't have the fastest team in the world. And I'm going to be able to go for Overheat. It doesn't kill, and he does get fully parried. So at this point here, I go for the Volt Switch, just trying to preserve Rotom. As I'm gonna switch into the Hitmontop, gets Toxic, and then right here he Hex crits, which right here it's actually really cool that it was actually kind of cool during the match that like it's unfortunate that Hitmontop's gonna go down here. Well, he could have switched and preserved differential. He probably was fearing like an Earthquake or something for the Quillfish, so he didn't switch into it. And plus, since this thing was parried, it's already crippled. So because of that, he's just gonna stay in and sack this thing off. But he doesn't know that he didn't know what Hitmontop variant I had with this, which it wasn't the worst thing in the world, so he didn't end up bringing the Buzzwole. But I'm still kind of stuck that Hitmontop got knocked out like that. It could have served a purpose in the future, like coming in, revenging Excadrill, things like that. So right here, I'm just gonna go for Bullet Punch and not really revealing my set, as the Mismagius goes down and the Hitmontop dies to the Toxic. So sitting at 5-5 right now. He's gonna go into the Raikou as I go into my Rotom, hoping to get some damage off on something. So he's gonna go for the Reflect here, as I go for an Overheat, which does about 50%, which is really good considering I have no investment in special attack. As he's gonna go into Excadrill, predicting my Volt Switch, which was a good play on him. Now here I'm just gonna have to switch, go into the Mew right here. And right here he's gonna go for an SD, which is really scary for me. And this turn is very big because I could either click Aura Sphere to bring him down, or I can click Will-O-Wisp to negate that SD. And if he wants the boost, he would have to click another one, in which case I could damage him with that. But here, I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and he's going to go for Earthquake, and it crits me, which really just sucks, because now, because I'm Rocky Helmet, and Mew's just going to go down there, which gets rid of Mew, which is really unfortunate, but I'm able to just come in with Rotom, revenge this thing. So it gets knocked down. And he's going to go into the Quillfish here. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. Does about 40%. I didn't want to go for Thunderbolt. I don't think Thunderbolt killed. It might have, but I just wanted to switch out, go into this thing. And this thing here, he's going to get up his regular spikes. And he goes for a taunt as I try to Whirlwind him. Definitely good play on him to predict the Whirlwind. I probably could have just Earthquaked and could have 2-Ko'd him. And he wouldn't have gotten up his 3rd layer of spikes, but actually no, I wouldn't have been able to 2-Ko him because of the Reflect. But here, I'm going to switch out, go into the Primarina, because I knew he's going to have his 3rd layer of spikes. This thing's sole purpose is the Hazard Sack, and now because he's stacked, he's able to sack this thing. He's able to just stack this thing off. As I'm able to go for a Psychic, I do outspeed, which further makes me believe that that was a defensive Qwilfish. So here he's going to switch into the Tyranitar, and I'm just saying here with Primarina, I go for the Scald. It does almost 50%, as he's going to go for a Roar, which is interesting. And now I'm going to go into Rotom here. And at this point, I believe... Actually, I go for an Overheat and I miss, which really sucks, but he goes for a Roar again. He's just trying to go for the Roar. He's trying to Roar and just make all my mons hit hazards as much as possible. So here, he goes for a Crunch, just knocking out my Snorlax. And now I'm in a pretty tough spot because of all the hazards. But my Mega Steelix is going to come out here. He goes for a Crunch. Doesn't do that much as I go for a Heavy Slam. That was my best play based on the rest of his team. I could have gone for EQ, but Lottie could have came in on that. So now he's going to go to Lottie. He has the Surf, and at this point, Mega Lottie is just going to be able to win. He's just going to be able to clean up the game for him. He outspeeds all of my mons, and he's going to be able to knock them all out because they're so whittled down from the hazard. So definitely a very solid game to Muse the Best. It was really good. It was a really good game despite all the hacks. Without the hacks, it probably could have gone differently. But at the same time, I definitely did not prepare as well as I could have for hazard stacking, and he ended up doing that and completely stacking on my end, which really crippled me. But definitely a very solid game. We're 1-3 now, but hopefully we can get a win soon. Next week we face off against Champion Yost, coach of the Angels of Beheim, and that's going to be a very scary match for us. His team is really threatening, and he is undefeated in our division. So if we can score a win against him, that would be really good for us. So with that, that's going to be the end of this week of CPC. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Remember to go check out Muse the Best down in the description. I'll have his link there. And I will see you all next time.